will you ever finish this game?
Yeah,
this
we're nearly finishing it, yeah.
The actual deadline.
It's actually happening.
We're very on schedule.
We're very on schedule.
This time last year, I was told that we were finishing, and then they forgot to tell me that they changed the date to February. And so I was just trying to finish all the script.
So now you don't know.
We just have to.
It's like 3 weeks. You realize that.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll have a whole bunch done by next week, and then we'll do more after that.
So now I don't trust anything.
If you have a deadline, the amount of work required is actually just that amount of time, right? Because we have a deadline, it's going to be done. And the deadline's in 3 weeks, which means there's 3 weeks worth of work left to do.
Yeah, maybe I should write more though.
The Genital Jousting team have completed about 2/3 of the single-player experience, Act 1 and 2, or at least gotten it to a point of completion where they were ready for some feedback about whether they were on the right path. So we organised an event and let people play.
I really liked the idea of people being able to play the game and enjoy it with their friends. It was nice to create a space where there was room for spectacle.
I was really stoked just that so many of our friends turned up, and like, I don't know, we've been working on this thing kind of in the dark for so long. No one's really known what it is.
I was surprised how much they paid attention. In the main demo, they were effectively forced to watch the game being played for 40 minutes.
I think the game is funny in this context, at least. Hopefully it'll be funny if you play it at home by yourself as well.
It's like pretty stressful looking around the room, and at any given time there's people laughing and there's people that are just like completely stoned in the face.
The best feedback is when no one laughs, because then you know that that's not working. So there were a lot of times when I was like, okay, cut the stitches joke.
One of the things I'm looking for is also when they're paying attention, and like sometimes that's a gameplay. Well, certainly when it's a gameplay thing, it's my problem.
The button! The button!
And there were a bunch of people who gave us enthusiastic praise, and some people gave us like really good notes, and some people who didn't look us in the eye afterwards. So that's all feedback.
The storyline was very well thought out. I really like the art style. I think it's like the right level of detail and not so much detail.
I really enjoyed the single player because it brought like a completely new dimension. It felt very much like the Stanley Parable.
It was fun. I must say it's a strange concept, but hilarious.
We've gotten a lot of good feedback from kind of friends and other designers and people playing through, so we have like a huge long list of things to fix for Act 1 and 2.
I feel like it gets quite slow to start. I like the narrative a lot, and I think it's quite interesting, and I think it's funny, and I think there's lots of good jokes in it.
I love penis puns, I love penis jokes, and I was super excited about something that has a social message.
Some of my male friends said that they found it quite relatable, but then also one of my female friends who had seen the game before, like kind of understood what we were trying to do with it, but didn't know if it was like landing, I guess.
It was hilarious. It was a bit like unnerving, just the whole premise.
Grabs you to some extent because you're kind of like, oh well, sort of identifying like on some level with, you know, poor John.
The best thing that I saw was when he swallowed the bird and like pooped feathers.
I'm really impressed with the art. The storyline has really come along. The voice acting is amazing.
When it ended, you know, you wish there was like more to come.
My favorite part, I think, was putting the new Genital Jousting music loud and playing Jason's theme song because it's so ridiculous and it makes me laugh every time.
Like the first 2 acts, we're just making John be like toxic. If we don't stick the landing and properly rebuke his behavior in the 3rd act, then we've just made like a game with a toxic character that's like perpetuating toxicity.
I am working on John's realization that he has gotten everything wrong and needs to change his plan drastically.
I feel like the main challenge with Act 3 is to make sure we show that we know John's actions are toxic, and we show them as bad and as not having successful results.
The moment of great crisis for the character. Yeah. When they shall be tested to their limit.
I am building a nightmare. So there's a lot of being hit by cars, saw blades, and you restart it. It's a little bit like being at a butcher and looking at a pile of chopped up sausages. What I'm hoping to do is to build a sequence showing how in life some of the rules that you may perceive to be rules are actually the wrong rules, and following them won't result in what you expect. In this sequence, the apparent rules are actually misdirection, and that's a metaphor for life. Corpses of yourself aren't a thing that was possible up until now in Genital Jousting, and that's kind of the nightmare I'm going for, only it's with your deck.
What I'm working on here are TV programs. It's a pretty cool opportunity to like flesh out the world and make it feel like there is a bigger world outside of these tiny little vignettes that you play in throughout the story. And also an opportunity to show how like the media culture influences John the penis. Like, for instance, his decision to go to gym and get buff.
Act 3 also has like a two-player section where you play cooperatively, and a lot of the systems weren't set up for more than one protagonist. Last couple of days been working on some technical stuff. The game needs to assign you a new set of controls that are different to the ones you were using for player 1. So if you have like 2 gamepads connected, it needs to detect the second gamepad and tell you to like pick that up and use it.
I'm busy making a beer can that you can chug and crunch with your butthole and spit out. Not really a challenge, but it's keeping me busy. I can show you the name of the nightclub that's not going to be in the game. For some reason, no one else thinks this is a good idea. Yet again, my genius goes unrecognized.
So we've got a vending machine in Genital Jousting. It's a thing that Stu's been making. It's quite destructible. You can dent it, you can impact it, knock it around. The reason for having this, we wanted to teach the ability to headbutt and fight. We wanted you first to fight an inanimate object. Fighting an inanimate object is a good way of indicating the character's frustration with the world.
How do I punch?
You don't have to punch it, you can put the money in.
I'm trying to put money in. Oh, this is so frustrating. Oh, you can't tell me that's not in.
If he fights an inanimate object, you know he's unhappy.
Pow!
People don't beat up vending machines unless there's a few things that are wrong.
What?
It's a bit of an exposition, I guess, as to the internal feelings of the character. It's not the lowest moment, but it's certainly setting you up for the awful end sequence of the game. I assume these are sounds
This is the to-do list. 5 pages of things to fix, and also we have to make Act 3.
Yeah.
And at some point we need to make sure that the multiplayer still works, which it almost definitely doesn't.
To be fair, February would be a better launch date.
No, it wouldn't.
I don't know if sunlight's ever actually touched Evan's face.
That's why he's freaking out right now.
It's because of the...
Like, this is really bright. Is this what the sun looks like?
Stop looking into
Let's
the
find out!
Oh my God.